Maintaining. Rusty, the maintenance diesel, enjoys taking care of the line come rain or shine. But recently he had been working himself a little too hard, so he needs to be checked over. So when Mr.Percival told Duncan that he was going to take over the maintenance duties, he was not too pleased about that.
It's not fair. Why should I have to take over the maintenance work?
Because there's no one to maintain the line but you, Duncan.
I can't believe I have to put up with this type of work. It's going to be so boring, and I'll be sitting there for hours doing nothing while the men hammer away at the rail.
The other engines knew Duncan was going to complain to no end, but they all knew that maintenance work was an important job and they were happy to have Rusty around. And as recently, Rusty and Duncan had become good friends after the rock and roll incident. But even Duncan was wondering what the point of Rusty's job really was. Later that day, Duncan started out with the maintain train, but he wasn't having much fun.
What is the point of this job? Personally, you're just rolling around in the line for a good solid hour or so. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You were supposed to be working at the line, Duncan, to see if there was any rails that needed to be repaired, or any bushes that were too close to the line.
That day, Duncan kept his eye on the rails, just not as intently as Rusty did. Before Rusty had broken down, he had kept the line in good order so Duncan didn't have to do much. He traveled up and down the line for most of the day and was glad when it was over that evening.
So, how was your trip out with the maintenance train, Duncan?
Absolutely terrible. I did nothing but roll the rails up and down all day. And the worst part is, it's going to be the exact same tomorrow.
Well, Duncan, look on the bright side. At least you can't say you've been overworked if you're standing in one place all day.
The other engines chuckled, but Duncan was still not assumed. The next day, it was a hot day for sure. The engines felt tired and felt like that every time they reached the next station, they would always need a drink of water. But the engine that felt the most tired of all was Duncan, especially sitting in the hot sun for most of the day. Luckily, there was nothing too big. But when he passed a section of rail near Rheneas' station, he didn't see that it was starting to buckle and bend in the sunshine. This would mean trouble. No sooner had Duncan passed when Skarloey was puffing off the other way with the passenger train, and see buckle rails until it was too late.
Ouch! That hurt.
Oh, tell me about it. Are you alright, old boy?
I think so. Although I'm guessing Duncan hasn't done his job properly. Otherwise, the men would have gotten started on these rails.
Just wait until Mr. Percival hears about this. He won't be too pleased.
And he sure wasn't. That evening, he had some stern words for Duncan.
I understand your frustration, Duncan, but you should have kept a better eye on the rail. Otherwise, Skarloey's action would have been avoided. Even if he did try to stop, the rails would have still been buckled and bent. Anyway, I'm totally sorry, sir. I guess I now realize the importance of Rusty's maintenance. I'm glad that you've come to your senses, Duncan. However, you still need to be punished. And for that, I think it would be best if you still kept doing Rusty's maintenance work, even when he comes out of the work. And he will be taking over your duties for a while.
Duncan thought that this punishment was far and away. Duncan kept on doing the maintain trains even when Rusty was fixed. Rusty handled Duncan goods, trains, and quarry work. He even got to take a few passengers' trains here and there, which he enjoyed very much, and the passengers enjoyed him. And when Duncan's punishment was finished, he finally understood why Rusty loved his job of doing the maintain work.
and hauling freight. Yellow and green, red, orange and blue. They're the really useful crew. All with different roles to play. Round Tidmouth sheds all far away. Down the hills and round the bends. Thomas and his friends. Thomas!
He's a cheeky one.
Rebecca!